It was a day like any other in the bustling city of San Francisco. The streets were alive with music, laughter, and an explosion of color. It was Pride Day, and the city had outdone itself this year. Rainbow flags hung from every lamppost, glitter rained down like confetti, and people danced in the streets wearing everything from leather harnesses to unicorn onesies. The air practically vibrated with joy and acceptance. And then, the spaceship landed. Now, let me set the scene for you. This wasn't some stealthy, under-the-radar landing. Oh no. These aliens, bless their clueless, intergalactic hearts, descended smack dab in the middle of Dolores Park in a shimmering, disco ball-shaped spacecraft that looked like it had been designed by someone who'd binge-watched every season of RuPaul's Drag Race. It sparkled. It glowed. It spun slowly, casting rainbow reflections everywhere. Honestly, if they were trying to blend in, they nailed it. The crowd froze for a moment, jaws collectively dropping. Then someone shouted, "Oh my God, they're here for Pride!" And just like that, the entire park erupted into cheers. People started clapping, whistling, and waving their flags at the spaceship as if Beyoncé herself had just descended from the heavens. The ship's door hissed open, and out stepped three aliens. They were tall, gangly creatures with skin that shimmered like oil slicks under sunlight. Their heads were bulbous, their eyes large and glowing, and they had these weird tentacle-like appendages where humans would normally have arms. They looked around, blinking slowly, clearly bewildered by the chaos they'd just walked into. "Greetings, Earthlings," one of them said, in a voice that sounded like a mix between a didgeridoo and a cat purring. "We come in peace." Someone in the crowd yelled back, "Honey, we love your look. Work it." The alien tilted its head, confused, but before it could respond, a drag queen in 6-inch heels and a sequined bodysuit marched up to them, hands on hips. "All right, who did you make up?" she demanded. "Because that highlight is poppin'." The alien blinked again. "Make up? Oh, sweetie," the drag queen said, looping her arm through one of the alien's tentacles. "You're coming with me. We need to talk contouring." The other two aliens watched as their companion was whisked away toward a group of enthusiastic parade-goers armed with glitter palettes and false eyelashes. One of them turned to the other and said, "This planet is unusual." "No kidding," the second alien replied. "Why are they all dressed so strangely? Is this normal human behavior?" Before they could ponder further, a man wearing nothing but a pair of rainbow suspenders and a strategically placed feather boa approached them, holding out a plastic cup. "Welcome to Earth, my dudes. Want a mimosa?" The first alien hesitated, then took the cup with one of its tentacles. It sniffed the liquid cautiously before taking a sip. Its eyes widened. "This is delightful." "Right?" the man said, grinning. "Stick with me. I'll show you how to party." And just like that, the aliens found themselves swept up in the Pride Parade. They were handed rainbow flags, draped in feather boas, and covered in glitter within minutes. No one questioned their strange appearance. If anything, people assumed they were just really committed to their costumes. One woman even complimented their prosthetics, calling them Oscar-worthy. But things took a turn for the hilarious when one of the aliens tapped a parade organizer on the shoulder and asked, "Excuse us, but where are your facilities for excretion?" The organizer, a middle-aged man wearing a tiara and a sash that read "Queen of Everything," looked puzzled. "Facilities for what now?" "For excretion," the alien repeated. "We require a location to expel waste matter from our bodies." "Oh, you mean the bathrooms?" the man said, laughing. "They're over there." He pointed toward a row of porta potties lined up along the edge of the park. The aliens stared at the porta potties, then back at the man. "Which one do we use?" "Well," the man said, "that depends. Are you boys, girls, or non-binary?" The aliens exchanged confused glances. "We are unsure." "Unsure?" The man raised an eyebrow. "How can you not know?" "We do not possess binary genders as you do," one of the aliens explained. Our species exists on a spectrum of fluid identities that shift depending on environmental factors and lunar cycles. The man blinked. Okay, wow, that's actually kind of fabulous, but also confusing. So, what do you usually do when you need to pee? We simply expel waste wherever it is convenient, the alien said matter-of-factly. Oh, honey, no, the man said, horrified. Not here, not during Pride. You'll ruin the vibe. At that moment, a nearby group overheard the conversation and decided to intervene. Hey, it's cool. A young woman with a shaved head and a t-shirt that read, "Gender is a construct," said. Just use whichever bathroom feels right to you. Or don't use one at all. Gender's a social construct anyway. The aliens considered this for a moment. Your species is perplexing, one of them said, but also intriguing. Thanks, I think, the woman replied. Meanwhile, the first alien, the one who'd been kidnapped by the drag queens, reappeared, now sporting a full face of makeup that would have made any Kardashian jealous. Its lips were painted a bright metallic blue, its cheeks contoured to perfection, and its eyelids sparkled with enough glitter to blind a small village. I feel magnificent, it declared, striking a pose. You look magnificent, someone shouted, and the crowd cheered. By now, the aliens had fully embraced the chaos of Pride. They danced awkwardly to the thumping bass of a nearby DJ booth, their tentacles flailing in ways that defied both physics and rhythm. They posed for selfies with strangers, tried cotton candy for the first time, and got it stuck all over their tentacles, and even joined a conga line led by a man dressed as a giant flamingo. But the real highlight came when the parade announcer spotted them and invited them onto the main stage. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, the announcer boomed. Please give a warm welcome to our new friends from, wherever they're from. The aliens climbed onto the stage, looking slightly nervous but mostly excited. The crowd went wild, chanting, "Aliens! Aliens! Aliens!" One of the aliens stepped forward, holding up a tentacle for silence. People of Earth, it began, we have traveled across galaxies to visit your planet. We did not intend to arrive on this particular day, but we are glad that we did. The crowd cheered. Your celebration of diversity and acceptance is unlike anything we have ever encountered, the alien continued. On our planet, individuality is often suppressed in favor of conformity. But here, you embrace it. You revel in it. You cover it in glitter and dance to loud rhythmic noises. Another cheer erupted, louder this time. We have learned much from you today, the alien said, about love, about joy, about mimosas. The crowd laughed and raised their cups in a toast. And so, the alien concluded, we would like to extend an invitation. Any who wish to visit our planet and teach us more about your ways are welcome, especially the one you call Drag Queen. She has much wisdom to share. The drag queen in question blew them a kiss from the front row. With that, the aliens waved their tentacles in farewell and returned to their spaceship. As it lifted off into the sky, it left behind a trail of glitter that sparkled in the sunlight. For weeks afterward, people debated whether the aliens had been real or just an elaborate pride stunt. But those who had been there knew the truth. And every year after that, on Pride Day, people would look to the skies, hoping to see a shimmering disco ball-shaped spaceship descending once more. Because if there's one thing humanity learned that day, it's that no matter where you're from, Earth, another galaxy, or somewhere in between, there's always room for you at Pride. The aliens' departure left the crowd buzzing with excitement. People swapped stories about their brief encounters with the extraterrestrial visitors, embellishing details as they went. One man swore he taught an alien how to twerk. Another claimed he saw one of them crying tears of joy after eating a churro. And then there was the rumor that one of the aliens had accidentally proposed to someone by handing them a balloon animal shaped like a ring. But the truth? The truth was even better than the rumors. Back aboard their ship, the three aliens were in a state of euphoria. Their tentacles twitched with delight as they recounted their experiences on Earth. "I cannot believe the level of creativity these humans possess," said the first alien, still admiring its glitter-covered tentacles in the reflective surface of the control panel. "Their use of color and sparkle is unparalleled." "And their beverages," added the second alien, who had smuggled a half-empty mimosa cup onto the ship. "This concoction is both sweet and acidic. It's like drinking liquid happiness." The third alien, who had been quiet for most of the day, finally spoke up. "It wasn't just the colors or the beverages," it said thoughtfully. "It was the feeling. Did you sense it? That overwhelming sense of belonging?" The other two nodded. They had felt it too. Despite their strange appearance and complete lack of understanding of human customs, the people at Pride had welcomed them with open arms, and occasionally open feather boas. It was unlike anything they had ever experienced back on their home planet, where conformity was the norm and individuality was discouraged. "We must share this with our people," the first alien declared. "They need to know that such a way of life is possible." "Yes," agreed the second alien. "We will teach them about acceptance, about celebration, about, what did they call it? Glitter bombs?" "Glitter bombs," the first alien confirmed solemnly. "A most powerful weapon of joy." And so, the aliens set a course back to their home planet, determined to spread the lessons they had learned on Earth. But before they left the solar system, they made one last stop, a small, out-of-the-way asteroid where they could practice their newfound dance moves without judgment. After all, if they were going to introduce their species to the concept of pride, they needed to nail the choreography first. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Pride Parade continued in full swing. The drag queen who had given the aliens their makeover was now fielding offers from major makeup brands. The man in the flamingo costume had upgraded his conga line to include a marching band. And the porta potties? Well, let's just say they became a lot more inclusive after that day. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, a group of friends sat on a hill overlooking the festivities. They clinked their cups together in a toast. "To the aliens," one of them said. "To pride," another added. "To mimosas," shouted a third. And somewhere, far across the galaxy, 3 shimmering aliens were raising their own glasses. Well, cups, to the same thing. But this wasn't the end of the story. Oh no, because a few months later, something extraordinary happened. It started with a faint hum in the sky, followed by a series of flashing lights. People looked up, shielding their eyes against the glare, and then, descending slowly like a fabulous intergalactic phoenix, came the disco ball spaceship. This time, the aliens weren't alone. Behind them, in smaller but equally sparkly ships, came dozens, no, hundreds, of their fellow beings. Each one was decked out in vibrant colors, glitter, and what appeared to be makeshift feather boas made from some kind of alien plant material. They landed in the same spot in Dolores Park, stepping out of their ships with the confidence that only comes from knowing you're about to have the time of your life. The leader of the original trio stepped forward, addressing the crowd that had already begun to gather. "People of Earth," it said, "we have returned, and we have brought reinforcements." The crowd erupted into cheers as the new arrivals joined the festivities. They danced, they laughed, they tried every food truck in sight. One particularly adventurous alien even entered the drag competition, and won, thanks to a stunning performance of Whitney Houston's "I Wanna Dance with Somebody," that involved levitating 6 feet off the ground while spinning like a top. From that moment on, Pride Day in San Francisco wasn't just a local celebration. It was an intergalactic phenomenon. The city council quickly scrambled to adapt. The mayor declared an emergency meeting, not to restrict the aliens' participation, but to figure out how to expand the festivities to accommodate a few hundred guests from another star system. They added an alien inclusion committee, built temporary launchpad-friendly zones, and commissioned an entire DJ stage on a hover platform, just in case any of the new visitors couldn't quite handle stairs. By the next year, Galactic Pride had become the official name of the festival. Starships from other civilizations began to show up too, at first nervously and then eagerly, when they saw what all the fuss was about. Earth's pride had become a diplomatic nexus, a cosmic celebration where humans and aliens of all identities and body configurations could be exactly who they were, no matter how many limbs, eyes, or gender states they possessed. One year, a gaseous being from the Nebulan system won Best Dressed for its constantly shifting cloud of rainbow mist. Another year, a jellyfish-like creature accidentally became a viral sensation when it photobombed every influencer on TikTok by hovering behind them and flashing its bioluminescent display at the beat of Lady Gaga. The aliens even started incorporating Earth drag into their own cultural practices. On their home planet, a new art form emerged: grav drag, zero-gravity performances involving floating sequins, slow-motion splits, and tentacle voguing. The original drag queen who'd first taken an alien under her wing, she was named Earth's official ambassador of Fierce and given an honorary star in the galaxy's newly formed Cosmic Hall of Slay. And those three original aliens? They became legends. They started a podcast called Tentacles and Tiaras, co-hosted with their favorite human friends. Each week, they interviewed guests from different worlds about fashion, identity, and the importance of chosen family. It became required listening at several alien academies, and was even used as training material for new ambassadors learning to connect with other civilizations. But most importantly, they changed how their own species lived. Inspired by Earth's pride, their planet underwent a cultural transformation. Conformity gave way to creativity, rigid roles dissolved into self-expression, and pride units were established to celebrate individuality, with glitter officially declared a sacred substance. And Earth? Earth became known as the fabulous blue planet, famous not for its weapons or technology, but for something far more powerful: its ability to welcome, embrace, and celebrate the different, the strange, and the spectacular. So now, every year across galaxies, beings of all shapes and species look to the stars, not in fear or curiosity, but in glittering solidarity. Pride isn't just a parade anymore. It's a movement spreading across the universe with feather boas, killer dance moves, and unconditional love. Because as it turns out, no matter where you're from or what you're made of, everyone belongs at Pride. The end. Or really, just the beginning.